Have you ever found it a challenge to clean a glass baking pan after it's gotten a lot of buildup? And some of them can get looking really bad. Well, this is one that I just finished baking some chicken breast in, some marinated chicken breast, so it has some of the marinade kind of baked on. Oftentimes it looks a lot worse than this, but I wanted to make this video, and so I'm just going to use this pan as it is, so you can see it before and after. This, what I'm about to show, is not an original idea. I've found these ideas online, and I don't know if I do them any different than other people, but I can tell you this pan that you're looking at, I'm sure I've baked chicken in at least 50 or 100 times over the last couple of years, 2-3 years. I make it quite often. So here we go. Now I've already rinsed this pan out in the sink and gotten rid of some of the stuff that was loose. And so all that's left is kind of the baked on residue. So what you do is you can start with any type of dishwashing liquid soap, and I'm going to make sure that I coat all sides that have any kind of residue. Now, if you have some baked on residue all the way up near the handles of your pan, go right ahead and put the dish soap up to that level. Since on this pan right now, most of what I have here is not so much baked up on the sides as it often is. So I'll put some more in the base of the pan, and then we have some that's clinging to the sides of the pan. Now the real trick is right here to use any kind of baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, and the baking soda will get put on over the dish soap. Now I normally do this in the sink. I'm only doing it this way for demonstration purposes. So you shake out some baking soda wherever you have some of the buildup, and make sure that the dish soap is on those portions of the pan, so that they will cause the baking soda to cling and stick to the areas where there's this residual buildup. And you get the bottom, kind of the bottom sides. And when you're all done, you'll end up with something like this. Now, thankfully, I didn't spill any on the counter. Now what you're going to do is you're going to let this sit. I usually let it sit for a couple of hours. I don't know if that step is real important. I'm looking right now and I see something I missed. I see there was some residual on this side of the pan that I didn't see. So I'll put a little more dish soap there. And I think some of the existing baking soda will probably work. Maybe not. We'll add a little bit more. So there we go. That's perfect. So now we have some up along covering some of this residue that's kind of a little bit higher up the side of the pan. There's a little bit along the handles. Sometimes I'll put some baking soda and dish soap there as well. This time, I think in the last step, I'll show you how that can be cleaned. So what we'll do is we'll let this sit, let's just say for an hour, since this is kind of a light coating of baking residue, and we'll come back and do the last step.
1 hour later.
Okay, so it's been approximately an hour, and as you can see, I've moved the pan into the sink for the next step, and you'll understand in a minute why. Let's take just a minute to go over the thinking behind this cleaning method. So, using the dish soap directly on the baked on residue would help soften it up over time. By putting the baking soda over the dish soap, it absorbs some of the residue into the baking soda, and plus it causes it also produces a little bit of an abrasion in order to loosen some of that residue. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of water. I'm gonna wet the baking soda a little bit, and then I'm gonna use one of these scrubbing pads. This one I've actually used for this purpose many times, and I usually do this in the sink next to this one, so I'm doing this at an odd angle to film it, but you need to use some elbow grease at this point to really do a good job. And this is the point where we will get these glass handles too, because we've got some baking soda on the scrubbing pad. I'm going to make sure to get the sides all the way up. Now, if your pan is really dirty and it has residue on the outside, you can clean the outside of the each side of the pan also, and just make sure you really scrub it thoroughly. I'm going to get this other handle here. Also get the corners really good, and get the bottom really thoroughly. Now I don't have a disposal on this side, but I think we're still okay. Gonna start adding in some water. Of course, the dish soap is going to produce some suds. Don't forget to do the outside as well. check to see if there's anything I'm missing here. So here is the end result. There's a little part I could do here in the corner that I kind of missed a little bit. I'll go back and clean that. But by and large, as you can see, this looks like brand new again. And like I said, I've used this method now, I'm sure 50 or 100 or more times with this pan. It's several years old. I use it to bake chicken approximately maybe every 3 days. And the chicken is always marinated, so the marinade gets baked on as well. So except for that one portion in the corner here, which I'll go back and work on, that's the result. Hope this is helpful, and hope this helps you with any glass pans that you might have that have proven to be a challenge, that have some real baked on residue. Give this a try. Let it sit maybe for a couple of hours, and I think you'll be pleased with the results. If you liked what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend.